The Middle East is on fire. And this time, it's different. For decades, Iran and Israel traded threats across borders. But on February 28th, 2026, those threats became bombs. Real bombs. Falling on real cities. Here's what you need to know. This war didn't start overnight. It's been building for 47 years. Ever since Iran's Islamic Revolution in 1979 turned it into America's biggest enemy in the Middle East. Fast forward to 2024, and Iran and Israel exchanged direct missile strikes for the very first time in history. That was just the beginning. In June 2025, Israel launched a massive attack on Iran's nuclear facilities. Iran fired back missiles, raining down on Israeli cities. America joined, striking Iran's most deeply buried nuclear sites. A ceasefire was called, but the fire never really went out. Back home in Iran, everything was falling apart. The economy collapsed. The currency crashed overnight. Millions of people took to the streets in over 100 cities demanding the end of the regime. The government responded with bullets. Thousands of protesters were killed, and the world watched in horror. Meanwhile, America and Iran were actually talking. Nuclear negotiations, diplomatic tables, real progress. In Switzerland, just 2 days before the bombs fell, Iran agreed to give up its nuclear stockpiles. 2 days before the bombs fell. Then, on the morning of February 28th, as millions of Iranians were heading to work and school, the sky exploded. A joint US-Israel military operation launched the most powerful strikes the region has ever seen. Nuclear sites, missile factories, military command centers. And then, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, was killed. Iran's response was immediate and ferocious. Missiles fired at Israel, at US bases across the Gulf, Bahrain, UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Iraq. The entire Middle East was suddenly in the line of fire. The Strait of Hormuz, through which 20% of the world's oil flows, was disrupted. The United Nations called an emergency meeting. World leaders urged restraint, but the bombs kept falling. So why is this happening? 3 words: nuclear, power, control. America and Israel say Iran cannot be allowed to build a nuclear weapon. Iran says it has every right to protect itself. And somewhere between those two positions, millions of innocent people are caught in the crossfire. This is not just a Middle East problem. Oil prices are rising, global markets are shaking, world war fears are spreading. What happens next? Nobody knows. But one thing is certain: the world will never be the same after February 28th, 2026. Stay informed, stay aware. Because this story is far from over.